What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I have uploaded. Struggling to find stuff to do, so finally got something. My brother's 2011 Toyota Camry hybrid. He had a P2103 code, which is a throttle body code. So I ordered, let me get this thing open, a new throttle body for it. I'm hoping that this is the issue. I know there's a little relearn procedure, but from what I see, it doesn't seem too hard to do. I don't have any of my power tools, sadly. They're all in my truck at my buddy's house, my buddy Gavin. So I'm going to go see what I do have in the shed. So I think I'm just going to have to do snap-on handheld with an extension. I'm going to need an extension. I'm going to just grab this whole thing right here. Try not to break anything. Don't have any hose pliers. They're also in my truck. I'm going to use these old crusty things. Hopefully this should be enough to do the job. I have no idea what else I'm going to need. I have watched a video on it. There's a pretty detailed video already on YouTube doing this. The valve cover is pretty disgusting. It's leaking pretty bad. Okay, so that's off. Let's pull this off of... What do I want to pull this off of? Oh, that bolt's broken, so that's not a good thing. Pull this guy off of here. Let's get this out of the way. There's a mass airflow sensor. Just take the head of the box off. Come on, there you go. All right. That should just come off. Out of the way. What's in the way now? This stupid thing. Pop that clip off. All right, now that's out of the way. Let's move this out of the way. Let's tuck it down here for now. This should be good enough to get this off and out of the way. Let's pull this hose back out of the way. There we go. Tuck that over. Let's try to reach down under here blindly and try to hook onto something. Feel it. I know it's supposed to lock together. Did it lock? It did not. Oh no. Drop the camera. I got this off. It's being held on by this little clamp here. Just squeeze this guy. Get this hose off here. And this hose here is holding it as well. Let's pull this whole thing off out of the way. We don't need to remove that whole thing, do we? We do. Pull it off down here. You're not going to be able to see it because this is in the way, but once I get this hose off, you should be able to see it. There we go. Tuck that out of the way. Can you see? Yes, you can. You can see it. Okay, so there's a little clip down here. I knew I should have grabbed a flathead screwdriver. It's all right, I got it. There's a clip on this guy. You just have to squeeze the clip and pop this guy off. Move the harness out of the way. You can hear the storm. Hear it coming. Hopefully we should be able to do this pretty quick though. This is a pretty simple job. Most people can do this fairly easily with a set of pliers, a 10mm and a 12mm socket, and you should be able to do this whole job pretty simply. Pull this single bolt out here. That's the little bracket it sits on. Loosen this up. This valve cover is leaking really horribly, so that's not a good thing. Hope this extension's not too long for the back one. Looks like it might be. Did I get it? Do I need to get another extension? No. Okay. Looks like the little plate is stuck slightly open. And that's part of what the code is that it's not opening and closing properly. So I'm guessing that's the issue here. Come on, guy. It's always the last bolt. Last bolt's always a pain. All right, so we got it mostly off. Pull it back a little bit. It's a little bit easier to get the last two hoses off of here. Gives you a little better access. Where's my pliers? I know you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing over here, but I'm basically just pulling another hose off, squeezing the clamp out of the way. I just need this rain to hold off for another 10-15 minutes if possible. Here's the old one. So you can see this, the plate looks like it's kind of stuck. Doesn't want to close all the way. Here, catching. Here's the new one. You should also check the gasket on this. There is a small gasket. It would be nice to clean it. This one doesn't look too bad. You should pull it off and clean it though. Let me see if I can get it off and show you. Yeah, I don't want to pull that off. But maybe I can just show you. If you look down here, this little guy right here, if it'll zoom in on that and not my pliers, there it is. That little guy right there. It has a little bit of carbon buildup on it, but it's not the worst. Yeah, and then just set this guy back in place. You could put the last two hoses or the last hose on afterwards. Let me just get some of these bolts in here, line it up. The relearn procedure I have to look up again. I think it was like turn the key, turn it back off, turn the key again, let it run for 3 minutes, and then turn it off or something like that. It's not a very hard procedure. All right, that's nice and tight. Shooey. Now it's just getting this guy back on here. It goes on this way. All right, yeah, this goes on this way. I guess that hose just kind of sits on nothing at all. We'll get, actually, let's get it'd probably help to move this out of the way. Probably help to untuck this guy, plug this guy back in. That would help. This goes on here. We got that all on. Now we're just buttoning up the last little pieces here. I don't know, let me see if you guys can see over here or not. Yeah, you can see over here. Putting everything else back up, putting all these little small pieces back together here. I guess we need to open this clamp up. So that one down there is not all the way hooked together yet. I do have it crushed, but it's not. I gotta loosen it. I gotta pop it. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see me do this or not, but you gotta reach down and twist this guy and then try to pop it. Usually you can just squeeze it and it'll separate and then pop back open. I can get a good grip on this thing. Pop. Yes, it did. Okay. So that guy's hooked back up down there. This one goes to here. There's that. This guy goes on here. All right, so before you start your job, make sure you have the right part. My part, it came as the right part, but was the wrong part, if that makes any sense. It was labeled as a 2011 Toyota Camry, and it is. However, it's for a non-hybrid. So it gave me a little bit of problems getting back together. Oh, my air filter's not in. It had an extra plug, not a plug, but like an extra outlet, if you will. So this one right here has the 3 hoses. This one had one coming off of right here that I had to plug. And so once this is tight, I plug in the last electrical connector. The last thing to do is the relearn procedure, and I don't know what that is yet, so I'm going to have to look that up in a second. There we go. Clean up, put all my tools away, look it up, and then I'll be right back. I'm not sure if you can hear this. This thing does not like running right now. It says the relearn procedure is kind of dumb. It says to cycle it, which I've already done, let it run, set the parking brake all the way, and put it into drive. It says to let it run for 5 minutes like this. But all it does is it goes into electric mode. So it doesn't work for this. I don't know how it works for a hybrid. So it runs in hybrid mode, which is nice, but I would like for it to run in regular mode as well, but it's surging. And I don't know how to make it not do that. So I'm going to drive it around, see if I can't get it to like force relearn itself. And if that works, then we're good to go. If it doesn't work, I have no idea, and I'm going to have to get some information from you guys. So it seems to drive perfectly fine. While I'm driving, it's not surging. It seems fine. Check engine light's not coming back on yet. It still has a maintenance required light on, but I think it's just due for an oil change. Anyway, every time that I go into park, it goes into electric mode. As you can see, driving great. No issues. It's not surging like it was before. Seems like it drives okay. So I'm thinking that the throttle body took care of the issue, but now it's just the issue of that weird surge. And I know it should automatically relearn itself over a drive cycle. At least that's what the guy said. He said you really shouldn't have to do a relearn. It should relearn itself. It's trying to relearn like the fuel mapping or something like that. So that should take care of itself. Right now, it's on gas motor. It's not surging. It automatically goes into hybrid mode, which is super annoying. It makes it extremely hard to diagnose a surging problem with the throttle body. However, I think it might also be a good sign because it is just running off the electric side. So it's holding that charge, which is good for a car with 279,000 miles on it. A hybrid car with 279,000 miles on it. So it seems like it's running fine. I don't want to take it too far. So I'm going to say that's a great success. Yeah, I think it's working. I think that's a plus. You see I'm super sweaty. I got a little dirty. Actually, I got extremely dirty. I had to take the throttle body back off because I had that extra piece on it. Oh, that worked. The electric outside works. So that's a crappy thing. I had to basically do the job twice. Look at this. Look at all them bees in there. Wasps or whatever they are. But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for that one, which is happy that it is finally done. It's been sitting in front of my house for 2 months because he wouldn't order the part, so I just did it myself. It was $81 for the throttle body. I got it from Rock Auto, I think, or carparts.com. I don't remember. It's one of those two, probably carparts.com. But it worked. So success. I think my next video is probably going to be something on the Skyline. I got to look at the rust in the trunk. It's pretty bad. I'd like to get a better look at it. So I think that's what we're going to do next. Thanks for sticking around and watching. Until next time, I'll see you later. Goodbye.